Hear me in the World Vibes Radio. Why they my use ya? Not take no talkie. Be careful of some places where you walk. Some no know God, them no read Bible. Then we shoot you down with them rifle. Do not bring no guns, come to town. It's World Vibes, tell them leave that at home. Them better bring love, come to town. It's I say spread the joy around. World Vibes Radio. And not taking this now. Let's go and teach your youth them. Play some good music. Educate them.
Blessed love, this is Mikey General and Chonto, Diaspora Connection, featuring Kabbalah for Jamaicans with Joshua. I don't know, we're not gonna stand up in the ways of sinners. Psalms 1.
Now this is Prophecy, the Judge General out of Jamaica. And whenever I'm on the highways, going through the byways, I always stay in tune to Diaspora Connection, featuring Kabbalah for Jamaicans with Joshua. I swear and I honor that I'll find a way to enlighten my people so they can make it through their days. 'Cause I don't want to see nobody banks, body banks.
You no rain, can't promise you no pain. In life you lose as you gain. And I can't promise you no time that I will never tell you a lie, or everything will be okay. But I'll be there for you to ease the pain, and I'll be your shelter each time it rains. About you, got me locked down, doing things that I never do. You know, just hope I turn my eye on. Give me so much love, it make me try. I know that you're not perfect, but I love you still. A future with you only I wanna build. We both have our expectations, though I make no promises. But I'll be there for you to ease the pain, yeah. And I'll be your shelter each time it rains. I'm at your door, I'll be there, believe me, I'm forever yours. My baby, just call me, and I'm at your door, I'll be there, believe me, I'm forever yours, baby. Oh, my baby, my sweet baby, yeah. Whoa. Whoa, I'm yours, baby, I'm yours, yeah. And I'll be there for you to ease your pain, and I'll be your shelter each time it rains. And the only
Sure, I'm gonna find ya. Met the girl of my dreams in my dream. Wish I didn't wake up, cause now I gotta find her in reality. Yeah, she's the one with who I share everything. You know it's kinda messed up, cause now I gotta find her in reality. Yeah, I'm no longer dreaming, but I surely need her now. Kinda hurts when I think about it. God knows I love the way she made me feel. I was flying, now for her touch I'm crying. In my dream she was so close, but right now she is so far away. Met the girl of my dreams in my dream. Wish I didn't wake up, cause now I gotta find her in reality. Yeah, she's the one with who I share everything. You know it's kinda messed up, cause now I gotta find her in reality.
So we're miles apart, but still I save my heart for you. Yeah. Me nah deep when me lock it up for you. Yeah. Can't wait to link you in my dreams. By the way, I'ma miss you, I'ma well want to kiss you. I don't care if it's even in my sleep dreams. Even if it's just a wet dream. Even if it's just a wet dream. Miles apart, worlds in between. I'ma feel my want talk to you. I'm a bed, I'm a sheet, I'm a pillow at the bridge when we used to get across to you. With you in my dreams, and nothing is impossible. We touch, make love, and though I won't be waking up with you, it's nice to dream. Although we're miles apart, but still I save my heart for you. Dream. Me nah get when me lock it up for you. Dream.
I'm holding firm. I not giving to them pressure. No matter how them a bang down my door, for I still I ignore. Holding firm. I not giving to them pressure. No matter how them a bang down my door, still I ignore. Oh, youths out there with ambition, they please let loose on a mission. Trying to gain a possession in your heart, trying to cloud up your vision. Works in high and low places, in different form, different shapes, yes. Come with smiling face, and your life them a try to erase. Holding firm, I not giving to them pressure. No matter how them a bang down my door, for I still I ignore. Holding firm, I not giving to them pressure. No matter how them a bang down my door, still I ignore. When them tell you say them rate you and I give you gun, you them no mean you're no good. Why you fly out with weed when a book for read? Them no mean you're no good. You when will you be wise? When will you realize? When will you know life over all things? Holding firm, I not giving to them pressure. No matter how them a bang down my door, but I still I ignore. Holding firm, I not giving to them pressure. No matter how them a bang down my door.
Keep focused, it ain't no joke now. Keep focused, and you will go further. Keep focused, it ain't no joke now. Keep focused. Alright then, right I know me say the bleaching things say that no necessary. Hate that dope and skin say that no necessary. You bore your nose and your chin say that no necessary. And belly skin and neighbor ring say that no necessary. Be my grade go a foreign that no necessary. And all these drugs and gun things say that no necessary. Live your life like it necessary. Live it right cause it necessary. Watch a man again. Keep focused, it ain't no joke now. Keep focused, and you will go further. Keep focused, it ain't no joke now. Keep focused. just fame the youth, my men do no better. Change up on a thoughts, clean up on a heart. Don't get caught by the shadows in the dark. Say my people, be smart, ready for a war. Secure the liquor pitney, them the boy, them not the heart. Gunshot about, people are the dark. John know the place around heart. So you man again, keep focus. It ain't no joke now. Keep focus, and you will go further.
Remember me did tell them for farm. Them a farm food. After me show them farmer tricks, them run for them banana flip. Then I see them gone for the wrong tool. Hey, Vikings me did tell them for farm. And them a farm fool. Hey, me tell them boys stuff it till it's silent. Tell me same blood a boil and it can't cool. Hey, you have some big lazy man out the road them. Always a boast for them man. When you see them a tell them a hustler. Me never hear them a hunt for a job. Me grandmother come from market. The whole of them have them eyes for our back. Them never want help to play the card, but all the money from it, them want rob. Remember me did tell them for farm. Them a farm food. After me show them farmer tricks and run for them banana clip. You know see them gone for the wrong tool. Tell you me did tell them for farm. Them a farm food. Yo, me tell the boys stuff it till it's silent. Tell me same blood a boil and it can't cool. Hey, the only thing you are gonna lose are your spread from your going on the field and a plant up the sheep. But Mr. Babylon a plant for your dead from your sit down on street side of Isle of Machine. So tell me why you're ready now. You're ready to be a nuisance in the scheme. Him left his mother die young, she a ball and a fret can't go take people things wanna feel. Hey, remember me did tell them for farm. Them a farm food. Me show them some farmer tricks, them run for them banana flip. You know see them gone for the wrong tool. Tune around me tell them for farm. Them a farm food. Now me tell the boys up till it's silent. Tell me same blood a boil and it can't be.
I really want to be able to no drama. Good music we play at every corner. I go and burn them out like a bloody marijuana. Jam it turban tight like Osama. See them sell out dance, I'll forget the any in a buckle. Drink and a wobble like a workman scalpel. I go and leave a space in a them head like a apple. Make pastor pronounce them dead in a the chapel car. Hey. While them a boast them a hit man. I a sing another hit song. I a preach on my bass. I know I've no time for free, no go no waste. Me tell them say, while them a boast them a hit man. I a sing another hit song. Catch the melodies and rhymes. I know I've no time for your mingling and crime. Alright then, say them big but only in them head space. Or in a small island for sound man the plate. Be a dirty knife, them practicing at them domain. And none of them no big like Missy and Romaine. Fire red for the battlefield, no escape. If you bore your tongue or your pants below your waist, boy. If you bleach, bubble man not too red. If you broke people, place and red. Me tell them say, I never hear none of the gang them a war. Who have the longest gun or who have the most care? I want to walk the Grammy podium like Stephen and Shaggy. Have no time for chase me, no girl in a baggy car. While them a boost, them a hit man. I a sing another hit song. I a preach on my bass. I know I've no time for free, no gun and waste. Me tell them say, while them a boost, them a hit man. I a sing another hit song. Catch the melodies and rhymes. I know I've no time for your mingle in a crime. Now watch this. Say them a rasta, look how them behave. Song where them a sing, make Molly turn in I'm brave. I don't really care who a trim, who a shape. A good reggae music, yes, go leave, I come to save. Them sick to me lyrics, me left
This
them
is
with
Natalie,
the allergy.
man from the
Only
East.
Jah alone
You're listening
can
to
get
the
my
Root Vibes
apology. I know I'm the stoop and beg to no one. That's why certain name no mention in a me song. When them a go to them a hit man. I a sing another hit song. I a preach on my bass. I know I've no time for free, no go no waste. Me tell them say, while them a boast to them a hit man. I a sing another hit song. Catch me melodies and rhymes. I know I've no time for your mingle in a crime. Me tell them say, while them a boast to them a hit man. I a sing another hit song. I a preach on my bass. I know I've no time for no go no waste. Me tell
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Diaspora Connection featuring Kabbalah for Jamaicans. My name is Joshua, and we're here every Tuesday and Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. in Jamaica. What we do here is we teach the wisdom of Kabbalah. We share it with Jamaicans. That is what the Kabbalah for Jamaican program is all about. I am the founder of the Kabbalah Learning Center of Jamaica, having been a student of Kabbalah for the last 18 years in New York. After being raised a Christian and becoming a Bible student, recognizing some of the holes in Christianity, I was fortunate enough to be a part of a church as a Christian that taught me how to search out the Bible, how to go back to the original text, because it is commonly known that there are mistranslations in the Old Testament and the New. Even though Kabbalah does not involve the New Testament, there are some teachings in the New Testament that are in alignment with the teachings of Kabbalah. However, there are some teachings that are not. All of the teachings of Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth, are in alignment with the teachings of Kabbalah, but not all of the teachings of Christianity. Because for those of you who have been listening to me for a while, have heard me say that all of the sayings of Yeshua are in total alignment with the teachings of Kabbalah. However, many of the doctrines of Christianity are not. And I want to welcome to our program tonight Brother Paul Lambert, who is in Jamaica. Akash, Brother Sean. And since that tune did start, I kind of love that tune, too, so make it go and play. Kashif Lindo, Trouble Free.
Tell me how would you? This is reggae music, ladies and gentlemen. This is rockers. Tell me how would you? Tell me how would you? Just think. Would you like to have the world all to yourself?
Would you?
And nobody else but you alone. Would you like it if you have all the gold and space, but alone in this place, not even a sound? Now tell me, how would you feel after using your gun and you kill, and you're the only one that's left on planet Earth?
What?
Do you think you could last a day? No music, no kids, and no play. Would you say it's a wonderful world? I'll stay. Or would you? I'd rather come together, stick like a stamp to a letter, and make this world much better, trouble free for you and me. Would you like to have the world all to yourself and nobody else but you alone? Would you like it if you have all the boats and planes, were without end but no friends? Now just imagine you wanna go out dancing, would like a little conversation, but there's no one. You got all the money in the world, well guess what? There's no girl. Can't you see no man is an island? So I'd rather come together, stick like a stamp to a letter, and make this world much better.
Hey.
And stick like a stamp to a letter and make this world much better, trouble free for you and me. Just think, would you like to have the world all to yourself?
Well, I have to tell you the honest truth. The answer to that is no. Because she's in the butt. In order to make the world trouble free, we need to teach wisdom. Because as we know, there's a lot of people out there living a different life. Many of us have even asked the question, what is life all about? And I tell you, that's a very, very good and deep question. And as we can see, we know that God has given man free will and allows man to live his life the way he wants to. A lot of people ask the question, why is there evil in the world? How can there be a God and him allow these things to happen? But with free will, God allows people to perform evil. And if we who believe that evil is not a good thing to be performed have to do our best to generate enough spiritual energy that will combat the evil that is in the world. Because many of us have children. Many of us are concerned about the life that the world that they live in. And that is why parenting has become so important these days. Because if you do not teach your children properly, and what I mean by properly is give them the necessary tools to live in the world. Now, the tools that they are going to need in this day is different than the tools that we needed growing up. That's for sure. So what kind of tools am I talking about? Well, for one, a parent should help the child to see the nature of the world. And raise them in a way that they can take care of themselves, because you're not going to be here forever to be with them or to protect them. So the job of a parent is to really equip their child with enough understanding, knowledge, and hopefully resources, right? Primarily, financial, in the sense of backing, giving them a home to live in, a safe home to live in. And most importantly, spiritual knowledge. Because, well, I have to say, I believe wholeheartedly that there is a right way to live life. There is. And I take that system, I take that model from the scriptures, from the Old Testament. Growing up, I read the Proverbs a lot. Again, not having my natural father around me after the age of 7 for the most part. I am thankful that the Creator awakened within me a great desire to get to know my Heavenly Father, because Yeshua himself said, call no man on earth your father. And when I say Yeshua, I mean Jesus, because Yeshua is his rightful name. Call no man on earth your father, for we all have one Father, and that is the Creator. So again, I want to welcome to the program Brother Sean, Brother Paul in Jamaica, Sean and Paul in Jamaica, and Brother Akash here in New York. Good evening, my friends. Welcome again to the program.
Good evening, Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, Akash. Good evening, Paul. Good evening, everyone. Great to be here as always.
Mm-hmm. Brother Paul, yeah, you good? You not sleep out the thing tonight, right? World soldier. It's alright. Even if your phone on and you not listening, the vibrations are
Yeah,
good.
brother, that's right. Yeah, man.
Oh, alright.
Me there, man, but I told me did I do something, you know.
No worries, man. No worries
Yeah,
yourself, man.
Yeah, man, me there on the program. Yeah, you are going, man.
Blessed, man.
Everything good, man.
Bless.
Yeah. The doctor come today and a little problem, though. Me not tell you about it the same way. He might put me on some more medication.
Okay, well, thank
He
you for...
might have one kind of cream to make me rub it, and if you don't get a result, then you go further with it.
Right. Well, thank you for letting
Yeah,
me
I
know
mean,
that.
I know. Come like me develop cataract in my right eye. I mean, I see well out of my right eye. You see well out of left one, but the right eye when he examine the cataract. I don't know.
All right, well,
Why try to do something about, you know?
we'll go and pray for you.
Yes,
And,
blessed.
and with using the 72 name Mem Haitian to you
Yes,
right
man.
now.
Yes, man.
Right?
Me don't stop you with everything. Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mem Haitian is one of the 72 names of God
Yes.
that we actually, 2 programs ago, we played a series on the 72 names of God.
Yes.
And again, when I talk about tools that our children are going to need, that we need now, these are part of the tools that you will learn here on the Kabbalah for Jamaicans segment.
Yeah.
And I want to say this is episode 180. Wow. 180 episodes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I have to give thanks to the Creator. I give thanks to the World Vibes family for this station and being able to present on the airwaves in Jamaica. You know, we were on Bridge FM at one time, and we started off on Best FM in Jamaica. But the cost became unbearable, unsustainable for broadcast. So we had to switch to internet radio, which is a fraction of the cost. And, you know, although it may not reach as many people, as Jesus said, those who have ears to hear, let them hear. And as the listeners of World Vibes are increasing, I trust that those who are listening, I will catch their ear and they will be awakened to an alternative, an alternative way of thinking about spirituality and about the scriptures. Because all of the teachings of Kabbalah are based upon the Old Testament, based upon mainly the 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And the Kabbalah is a science. It's not a religion. It is spiritual science. It is the science that the religion of Judaism was built on. Again, those of you who have been listening for a while have heard me say, look at the Jews. Look at the modern day Israelite. Wherever they are in the world, they seem to find themselves on top. They're a small fraction, a false percentage of people in the world. Yet, they're unified and they're prosperous. They support each other. They have a rich culture based in spirituality. Now, we're not saying that they're more righteous than anybody else. We know everybody have them problems and them issues as humans. But you have to look at, as a people, you have to take your hat off to them. And take a page out of them book. Because the reason why they are so unified is because of their faith, the knowledge of the Holy One, blessed be He, the knowledge of the Creator. Because the Creator gave the Israelites, the Torah and the wisdom. But even before that, there was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because Israel never get formed until Jacob and his 12 tribes, 12 sons. And Brother Akash, you and I were talking earlier, texting earlier, and you asked me a question. What was that question, my brother?
Well, the question on its surface level is, what is the meaning of life? But beneath the surface, it's not necessarily asking for instruction from anyone. This is how I should live my life. But if I want to maximize my time on this earth to help myself and others as best as I can, how can I do that?
And I said that was an excellent question. And the first thing I would recommend is, like anything else in this world, if we decide that we want to take on something, a task, an occupation, a process, we normally go to a reference, a book that somebody wrote, an expert wrote. To find out, these days we go to YouTube. Right? Go and find out how to do this thing that we are trying to accomplish. So, you ask the question, how can you maximize your ability to help yourself and others? I believe the scriptures give us the answer. I believe spirituality gives us the answer. And when I say the scriptures, I don't just mean that of the Old Testament or New, because there are scriptures in the Hindu faith, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, that are tremendous, and I respect wholeheartedly because I studied them and practiced them. The Hindus taught me about meditation, which is extremely important if a person wants to learn how to calm their mind, to be able to listen to the still small voice and to be guided, properly guided, because there are so many voices in our head, out in the world and in our head. When you look at social media today, oh my goodness, everybody has something to say. Everybody wants to express themselves. So I've decided to let the scriptures be my guide. And from a very early age was seeking that out. And what I found is the Creator has made certain promises. It appears as if He made them to Israel, but in fact, what He made them to, He made them to Israel. However, who is Israel? And in my opinion, Israel are those who follow the scriptures, the believers. That is who Israel represents. It doesn't matter if you were born in that country named Israel. No matter where you're born or who your mother or your father is. If you decide to pick up the scriptures of the Old Testament, even if you want to take up, the Bible, which has the Old and the New Testament, at least I should say the Christian Bible, because the Hebrew Bible only has the Old Testament, from Genesis to Malachi. Or if you decide to pick up the Upanishads or the teachings of the Buddha or the Tao from the Far East, you will be opening up yourself to spiritual wisdom, which can help to guide your path during this lifetime. If you're fortunate enough to understand that reincarnation is a fact, and that the soul never dies but has to reincarnate into a physical body to accomplish or to continue its journey. By the way, it's a very excellent movie I want to recommend. It's called Astral City. Okay? Astral City. And it's let's see. Here it is. Wait, it looks like, let me see. No, this is just a snapshot of the movie. But here it is, Astral City, a spiritual journey. Oh, let me share it so that the people on YouTube can see it. Astral City. Amazing. It helps you to understand the journey of the soul and why people reincarnate. It's a very good rendition, very good example of what the sages have revealed that happens. Kabbalah teaches that the soul, which is a spark of the Creator, has been given expression through a body. And in fact, we are taught that before we come to the world, we make a contract with the Creator, and we actually say we're going to do our mission. We ask to come back. We have to come back to complete our mission. But a lot of people don't understand what that mission is. In regards to your question, and again, it comes down to belief or faith. Because what makes a person believe one thing or another? Right? What makes one person believe one thing or another? We all believed something differently than what we believe today 10 or 20 years ago. Right? The wisdom and the knowledge that we are obtaining today changes us, has changed us. You know, Brother Sean, I know very recently, we got introduced and this wisdom is fairly new to you. But there was obviously something within you, one that allowed us to be drawn together. Your soul was crying out for the truth. And when you heard some things, it made some sort of sense to you. Like Jesus said, those who have ears to hear, let them hear. Right? Same thing with you, Brother Paul. Intelligent man. Well learned. But when you heard some of the things that we said, it made some sort of sense to you. And it awakened something. And it's about what? 4 years now? 3-4 years? Brother Paul? So, and Raquel Marcia, oh my goodness.
Yeah, yes, Brother Joshua.
Yeah.
About that time, yeah.
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 And Raquel Marcia, my goodness, it's been about what, 14 years now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And how is life different for you?
Oh, phenomenal. Great. I just wonderful. Like I say, every day I get up expecting miracles.
You find yourself happier?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Lots more.
Why?
I don't even say happy no more. I say joyful.
Joyful. Why?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Because of the relationship that I have with the Creator, and also that I know that I am the cause. I know that I create my reality. And that was something that I needed to know, because, stuff would happen to me and I'd blame everything else, everybody else. But when I realized that I create my day,
yeah,
it made a big difference. So I get up in the morning and I either decide whether I want to create a day that is going to be chaotic or a day that is good. And then now also, if something happens to me, I stop and I take a check and check myself.
You mean
and
something?
okay.
You mean something unpleasant or negative?
Unpleasant, yeah, unpleasant, yes.
Okay.
And I know that. Hold on one second. My child is leaving here.
Mm-hmm.
Good night. Love you much. Bye. Yeah, that is my judgment child.
Orlando?
No, Ashley.
Ashley, yes, you always told me about her.
Yeah, that's the one. If I say anything, you're being judgmental, so she keep me in check.
We all need that.
Yes, keep me in check. And it's, come from a good place. So
of course.
Yeah, and I'm much better than I was before in that respect.
Okay. You're no longer a victim.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And I was reading something the other day, and it says, I'm not good and I'm not bad, but I am God.
Okay.
Yeah. And that just means that I create my space. I create my space and I create my life. And I'm creating a joyful life for me.
Mm-hmm.
A joyful life for me. And it's just been wonderful. I mean, I learn something new every day.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find yourself loving people more?
Yes. I'm more patient. I'm kinder. And it's just wasn't a part of my personality growing up, because I always thought I had to fight my way through. And I know, even when, I deal with customers on a daily basis.
Yes.
And, I'll have a customer who call me and screaming, and I don't respond like I used to. Okay. And by the end of the conversation, I mean, one of my persons said, Marcel, at the end of the conversation, they are my best friend. Marcel, I call you, anything I need, I'll give you a call, okay? All right, take care. And that's just the difference with me, how I dealt with them before, because usually if you say, hey, I'm going to say B, C, D, W, X, Y, Z. Now, now I'm just like, you know what? That's just not the way to be. And honestly, I was telling someone on Saturday that I met, I say usually when I'm driving and if someone cut me off, oh my goodness, I would have drive them down and I'm screaming and cursing.
Yeah.
Now, I say, you know what? Maybe they are late for where they're going. And I say, Creator, take them safely to where they are. And no lie, in 2 seconds, I forgot that they cut me off
Yeah.
and I'm good. Usually, for the next 2 hours, I'm upset.
Mm-hmm.
So it just, my life changed, man. Big time. Big time. Big time. And I really, truly, I watch my words because I realize how powerful words are.
Yeah.
So I really, truly, really am conscious of how I say. People say, oh, Marcy always say, I am great. I say, because I am. Because what comes behind I am is what I create.
That's right.
So, it's make me slow down with my speech. It's just, man, it's phenomenal, man. It really is. It really is. It's just, I love it. I was searching, as you know, I went everywhere. Kingdom Hall, 7 day, I did it all. So I can't say I just jumped into Kabbalah.
Yeah.
I was searching.
Yeah.
I really was searching and I found it and I've not stopped. For the
Amen.
14 years, I've not stopped.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen to that. And I was telling I mentioned this to Brother Sean, I think it was earlier today or yesterday, that so he has received some Zohars and he's starting to give them out. And I said, anybody who gets the benefit from the Zohar, you get the credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I think about you and your journey,
oh yeah,
I'm so thankful, and I smile not just because of what it has done for you, but I've done my job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And my daughter that just left, she did not leave her house with that pink sim. Her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Mommy, can you please give him one? The cops stopped him the other day and he was like, oh my God, Mom, they didn't do anything to me because I had the pink sim. And he doesn't even know what.
You see that?
He just, yeah. My son, I told you about the accident my son had.
Yes.
And he said, Mommy, the glove compartment opened up and that is what fell out. And the cop said if he had hit the tree a different way, total, and he would have been gone. So it's just, it's just, I'm telling you, it should, yeah.
And this is what we have to, the challenge that we have is that we need to help people to understand the value.
Yeah.
Right? The value of what it is that we study. Because it's not esoteric. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It works.
It does. It does.
It works for you. In your life and for you. And again, I have to say, look at the Jews. This is why the Jews are so successful and blessed. Okay? Because of what they expose themselves to and what they live by. Now, them not all live by it necessarily properly, right? If there is such a thing. I mean, and there is, right? But, they do their best. At least, that is what occupies their mind when it comes to spirituality.
But isn't that what the Creator just want for you to do your best?
That's it.
The Creator just want you to do your best.
That's it.
It's not perfect.
No.
It's transforming.
Say it again.
It's not perfection, it's transforming.
There you go. Because what is perfection? Really and truly, right? It's moving from where you are and becoming better, improving.
Better.
Improving
yes.
you.
Improving. Yeah.
Improving you, right? Transforming yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The qualities, the good qualities. And you see, how would we know what the good qualities are unless either somebody told us or we read it somewhere?
Well, yeah.
Because it's not natural.
Well, the portion that we're reading now in the Zohar,
yes,
there's a portion that says There had to be black for you to know white.
Exactly.
There had to be health for you to know illness.
That's
there had
right.
to be good for you to know bad.
That's right.
Just read it this morning in
That's
the
right.
in the Zohar
There you go.
connection.
There
So
you go.
you know.
That's right. That is right. You know. So yeah, it's transforming. And so, Brother Akash, the question that you asked is, how can you basically operate at maximum potential so that you can help yourself the most and help others? So, what you're hearing so far, and if you hear Brother Paul talk, he will tell you how him was before too. A man say, hey, I'm dep on him right away. You know, Brother Sean, you know, you're experiencing that very recently as well. It's a transformation of our character. And through wisdom, we learn what is the right way to behave in all situations. And, you know, not, you know, realizing that we live in a framework of cause and effect. So whatever is happening to you, you cause it. Either in previous actions in this lifetime or in a past life. So the first thing that we should say to the Creator is, when a situation occurs, we say thank you. Because hopefully it's something that will correct us, help to correct us. You know, in the portion, you know, we're reading a double portion this week, Tazria and Metzorah. And in chapter 1 of Metzorah, and I'm going to show this on the screen.
You know, I wanted to mention something else, you know, that I was listening to.
Please.
And it's because there's no time. It's an illusion.
Uh-huh.
So everything that is happening to you right now is today, right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like there's no past that you did something wrong. It's something that you did right now, and you're feeling the effect of it right now. And I kind of I wrote it down.
Uh-huh.
And I sat in it, and I just kept on reading and it makes sense to me. I'm just right now you're talking, it just pop up in my head. I don't even know why, but anyways. And I just, because of probably what you said to Akash, but I said to myself, I said, but the Ravs say it, and the Zohar said, there's no time.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is right now.
No.
The Red Sea parting is right now. Everything is right now. Moses is right now. Isaac, Abraham is right now, because there's no time. It's all an illusion. Because this body allows us to believe that there's time, and we have time to do something, we have time that. But everything is happening right now. Yeah. So that means when we do something wrong and something happen, it's happening right now when we do something wrong. Make sense?
It's like when we're taught, when you say something is bad, that's when it becomes bad. Or when you say something is good, right?
Becomes good.
It becomes good because you say so.
Because you say so.
Right? How do you perceive it? And isn't that what Einstein proved with relativity and the observer? Them say an atom can either be a particle or a wave. It cannot be the same at the same thing at the same time. And they say, if you have a room in your house, okay, that you're not in right now. Say you're in your kitchen and you have a bedroom, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in that bedroom is solidified until you walk into it. You ever heard that?
No, I didn't hear it. I never heard that.
Yeah. They say that things only become solidified when they're observed.
When you're observed, yeah.
When you observe it. You're the observer. Mm-hmm. So it's what you say.
So yeah,
right? So like what
yeah.
you just said, right? Everything is happening right now.
Right now, yeah, yeah. Oh boy.
And what we are challenged with is how are we going to behave right now?
Right now, that is it.
That's all that
That
matters.
is it. Yep.
Right now. How are you thinking right now? How are you choosing to behave right now?
Right
Even if
now.
somebody, something that go on outside of you still have a choice. It's like
Just yes.
I used to say to my wife when she complain about how people behave. I said, well, you can't control how people behave. The only thing you can control is how you respond.
Yep. Yep.
And what you think about that thing that you thought happened. Because we're quick to judge a situation or a person and quick to assume the victim stance. That this person did this to me or this person caused me to do that. No, not go so. You have a choice.
Yep.
Of how to behave, how to respond, and how to interpret.
Put it right.
What is happening?
Right.
We have a choice. And it's only through wisdom can we make the better choice.
Yeah.
Through understanding. And that's why, the underlying teachings of Kabbalah is mind over matter. Right?
Consciousness is everything.
Consciousness is everything. Everything. And consciousness not come easy.
Yeah, tell me. It's a work in progress every day, every hour.
There's a price to be paid.
Yeah.
Big price to be paid.
It's like, wow.
Denial of self. Denial of the worldly things. There's nothing wrong with the worldly things. God put them here for us to enjoy. But it's how we feel about it. The importance we give it. We give it importance above other things.
Yeah.
Above our relationships. Above our health. Above our well-being. We are chase the dollar.
Yep. Well, another thing that I read that a Rav say, which is true, and it's true, a lot of other, philosophers and stuff say it, is that we don't have gratitude for anything until it's not there anymore.
There you go.
So we don't have gratitude. We don't get up and say, not even if we're getting up, but just throughout the day, give thanks for everything.
Everything.
Every single thing.
In all things, give thanks.
In all things, give thanks. And that's where we have the hard thing. Because somehow we think, even though, we should know that we are nothing, but we are everything.
It's a dichotomy, yeah.
Yeah. I tell you something, man, I've learned so much studying Kabbalah. And I'm a seeker all the time. And as you know, Josh, I don't just believe anything because that's just not who I am.
We are Capricorn too.
Yeah, me a Capricorn. Everybody know that. Stubborn as hell. Me have to go search for myself, and me have to do this, and me have to do that. But, and I read a lot. And I listen to a lot of people. I do listen. I listen, and I do get my little notes. That's something that makes sense, something that don't make sense, or if it don't make, it's not like it don't make sense, but I don't totally understand it.
Right, you put it on the shelf until time when you understand it.
And I go search somewhere else for something else that maybe because I know nothing.
And the scriptures tell us that he who thinks he knows not.
I know nothing, so I'm just learning every day, and my mind is just like wow. And that is what I would love for my people to just open up to something else.
Yeah.
Just to say, okay, I might not totally understand, but just listen.
Yeah.
Just listen, open up your mind to that, because we just so one way,
Yeah.
one way.
True tradition
You know,
because your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you were raised, but is it working for you?
Is it working for you? Do you want to stay in poverty? Do you want to stay in doubt? Do you want to stay in worry?
Yeah. There you go.
If you want to step out of that, then you have to look, you have to seek it.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
It's boy.
That's right. And
I have a question on that.
yes, Akash.
So, I agree with that mentality, and it's what I do as well with learning and listening, and maintaining humility. That you can always learn more, and sometimes you hear something and it doesn't quite make sense until you hear something else in the future.
Right.
But earlier, Brother Joshua, you touched on a point about everyone today is talking, and sometimes they're talking before they even know any better, and they're on social media and they have a platform for which they're speaking.
Yes.
And sometimes they get something right. Most of the time it's just chatter, and it's just noise. It's noise.
Yes.
And I'm at the point right now where I've just started really absorbing good information in terms of a little bit of everything. And what if I read something tomorrow and then I'm like, well, everything I read yesterday was wrong. Oh, no problem. That's part of the process. But it even goes back to my initial question about like wanting to help myself to help others. In order to do that, I need to produce, not just consume. And at what point can I produce without feeling like a charlatan?
Without feeling like a charlatan. But charlatans take. They don't produce. Charlatans scam people.
Because if I absorb information and I truly believe it, and then I'm creating something based on this information.
Right.
But then after I've already dispersed this information, or I've dispersed this product or service, and then later I find out that it's not needed, and that I spread something that did not need to be spread.
Okay.
And I am a big believer in everything that we need is within us. We don't need that much.
Indeed.
So all these things that I'm studying, they're great, but they are noise. The most important things in life, they're priceless. They're free. They're no, not free. They're priceless. You need to work and introspect for it.
Yes.
So it almost creates a divergence almost of like creating something external. Why do I need to create if everything we need is inside of us?
So I'm glad you came right back to that, because I was going to speak on that. Everything we need is inside of us, but it is grossly hidden. And we cannot access it normally or naturally. It is hidden. Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. But it's locked away, concealed. It takes someone like myself or the scriptures or something that you heard or read somewhere to awaken that within you, to unlock. Right? Everything that you're hearing and that you're learning, you're remembering. We forgot it. So that is why when we gravitate to a particular teaching is because we're remembering it. It sounds familiar. Right? That's what's happening. Hey, Sean?
Awakening. I say it's awakening.
An awakening, exactly.
Because the conscience is kicking in now, man.
I heard a teaching once. You see, when it say in a Genesis 1 where, or Genesis 2 where God put man to sleep, right? Before him perform the operation and take out Eve, right? I hear a teaching once where it say, nowhere did it say that Adam woke up. So all of this is a dream, an illusion. So what does that mean? It means one, take life seriously, but don't take it too seriously. Right? Don't take it too serious. I mean, you have to take it serious because it is deadly. You make a mistake and boom, you're done. Okay? But it's it's like I tell my son, who is a thriving entrepreneur. I said, 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake. Okay? You got to learn to, and you have to learn to balance even your thinking and your desires. And the only way you can balance that is through the scriptures, through wisdom.
Also, when you are confident in what you know to Akash, you won't mind sharing it. Once you recognize the truth for yourself,
and you're living it,
you won't mind sharing it. And it's not, you don't have to do a big, long, speech, this, that, da, 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 da. Because my kids, my friends, Joshua will tell you, I do not know the Bible. I was brought up in a Christian home, but I was the black sheep. I'm the only one that didn't go to church. I didn't care. When I got older and I had kids and everybody, boy, you need to make your kids them grow up in church. I tried every different religion, but nothing worked for me. But my children, my friends ask me, what am I studying? What am I doing? Because I'm different now. They see the difference. So I don't have to go through all of this.
Let your life be a testimony.
Exactly. So I still search for myself. There are certain things that I still want to understand because I want to know certain things. So I go digging. And that's all right. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to do. And when you know the truth, trust me, you will recognize it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll recognize it.
When you come across
So
it.
it's not like you're going to have to go and tell them, write a big book, 5 million pages. They will see the difference in your life that you transform. The way you speak, who you have become. And that in itself is a testimony to what you're learning. To the truth.
Yeah.
So it's, it's don't make it complicated because it's not. It really is. God is not complicated. God is it's not a complicated God. We make things complicated. We make things hard. But if you sit down, like they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah.
So you search and you know you are a very intelligent young man. You'll know how to pick out nonsense from sense.
Yeah.
And
you know something? And if let's say that you're living the truth that you know for a few years and you're sharing it with people and you come across something that opens up your eyes and causes you to shift or to pivot. There's nothing wrong with sharing that with the people once you're starting to live it. Right? Once because look, the way I live today is not the way I lived 5 years ago. Right? I obtain more wisdom, more understanding, and I shift. I adjust accordingly to the wisdom. Right? Because we're learning new things almost every day.
So the way I was yesterday, and they have to operate different with something. So it's a learning. It's it's a everyday thing. It's a
Yep.
everyday thing.
Ongoing journey
Mm-hmm.
of transformation. Right? Because the more mature you become, all right, this is how you know if you're becoming spiritually mature. That you're beginning to recognize the darkness within you. You're beginning to recognize and to see the darkness in you. The closer you get to the light, is the more you're able to recognize the darkness within you, not within others, as many people tend to do. Right? Point out the problems in other people. But we learn to turn the lens inward. To look at ourselves, transform ourselves. And if everybody were to do that, what a better place this world would be. Instead of playing the victim or pointing a finger or telling somebody else what them do wrong or whatever. Right? See how you can be improved. And guess what? The only way we're going to know what an improvement is through the wisdom of the scriptures. Let it be our teacher. Let it be our guide. You know, one of the things, I have it up on the screen here. This is what we had read this last night in the Zohar call, Jamaica Zohar call, and they read it today. It says, and this, the Zohar, for those of you who are listening for the first time, is the principal text of Kabbalah. It is a compilation of conversations between rabbis. The main one being Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, which is a reincarnation of Moses. Moses received the Torah on Mount Sinai, and a spark of his soul came back in the form of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and he received the further revelation, okay, to help us to be able to connect to the wisdom of the Torah. So the Zohar is a supplement to the Torah, again, which is the 5 books of Moses, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And it has been given to us to help us to decode the Torah so that we can connect to the energy of the Torah. That's why the Creator gave us the Torah, because it is an energy force. But we have to know how to connect to it. So, Akash, yes, everything that we need is within us, but it has to be unlocked. We use this wisdom to unlock the wisdom within. And here it says that you may know that there is judgment. Right? So the Zohar may take a particular phrase, a quote out of the 5 books, or it may speak on a topic. In this case, it's taking a phrase, a quote out of the scriptures, and helping us to understand what this means. So here it is. It says Rabbi Abba, which is one of the rabbis, begins by reminding us that it is only those who study the Torah and abide by all her ways that are protected by guardian angels. Okay? By studying the Torah, you become protected by guardian angels. And have the Shekinah rest on them. The Shekinah is the feminine aspect, the feminine soul of the Creator. That entity that the Creator sent to be with us in exile. Because we are considered to be in exile, meaning in a place of unknowing, uncertainty. Right? Not one with the Creator. That's exile. Because the true essence and nature of our soul is to be one with the Creator. Right? So, and here's another rabbi, Rabbi Elazar, says that people do not try to understand God's will, even though the supernal announcer speaks to them every day. Right? Every day our soul speaks to us. But unless we have trained it to really You see, there's our soul and then there's our mind. They're two different things. We have to train our mind to connect to our soul. We have to train our mind to allow our soul to take the lead. We have to train our mind to see properly the way our soul sees. Our soul is a spark from the Creator. It is from the essence of the Creator. Our ego, which is our self-identification, in philosophy it's called, or psychology is called the id. It is our self-identification. Without that, this game doesn't work. Okay? The game of creation doesn't work. The illusion of separateness doesn't work. So it was a part of the plan of the Creator. And the purpose of life is for us to reconnect to our true essence. And to enjoy this world that the Creator built for us. Have it become the paradise it was intended to be. You know, it's interesting. Even Genesis tells us that the Creator created a garden east. Okay? He created a garden. So that means that there was a larger place, but he created a garden within that place. Right? You know, we have to learn how to read scriptures. What's the word? With curiosity and with a desire to want to know what this is saying and what it means in the truest sense. Because again, we could waste a lot of time learning the wrong thing. And a lot of people out there learning the wrong thing. And as much as we want them to learn the right thing, when we are faced with people who are not learning the right thing, how do we behave? When it talks about unconditional love, that's one of the things that Jesus was known for. Unconditional love. We have to ask ourselves, okay, what does that really mean? You have heard it said, love thy neighbor as thyself. Or do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. But what I say is, don't do what you know your brother doesn't like to be done. Isn't that a higher form of love? Think about it. Think about that deeply. Because what that forces us, the only way you can do that is if you pay attention to your brother. And not let it be about you, but about your brother or your sister. Critical piece of thinking, that. Very critical. Because you may do something to your brother that, you think it's okay for you, but if your brother don't feel it's okay for him, and you know that, then you shouldn't do it. As you know, the scriptures tell us about not being a stumbling block to others. All right. So, I want to welcome to the call the founder of Farm Up Jamaica, brother Neil Curtis. Good evening, Neil. Hope all is well.
Good evening, Lloyd. How are you?
I am doing fine, my brother. Thank God. Baruch Hashem, as we say.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
Indeed.
I am here just getting home.
Yes, I hear you. Yeah,
So,
busy man.
I had to tune in, you know.
Well, I appreciate that. Greatly appreciate that. And I told you that one of these programs I want to dedicate it to the work that you're doing with Farm Up Jamaica.
Well, thank you. I definitely really appreciate that. I think it's a Moses work.
Indeed. Indeed. And we had a great conversation this morning too about Moses.
We did. And it all came back to loving thy neighbor as yourself.
You know, it's being altruistic, right?
Yeah, and inclusive.
And inclusive. Excellent word. Inclusive, yes.
You know, I think a lot of us, and again, it just might be the way that we were brought up.
Right.
And, you know, you think about the way you're brought up and you think that everything is right because it's coming from a higher level, which is a parent. Not understanding that maybe your parent didn't know either.
That's right.
The
chances are they didn't, yeah.
They didn't know. I mean,
especially Jamaican parents, oh gosh.
Well, if you just think about anyone that shares our complexion.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to get a person that has not been programmed, right, over the last 100 years with something to do with being subservient.
Right.
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 And so if your great grandmother was teaching you a lesson, most likely that came down from a place of where she probably was.
Yes.
She probably was disciplined for, not by her parents,
right,
but by somebody other than her parents,
right.
And you're now receiving that information, which is not necessarily good for modern day.
It's tainted.
It's tainted.
Yeah.
It's tainted.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people some of the things that you hear that they use as old sayings, right? And if you really unpack them, sometimes they don't really add up. You know, children are to be seen and not heard. That's
oh my God.
That's a bad, you know, in other words, and people go through life
like
believing that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You know, God instills in each child a gift.
Yes.
And each child has their own gifts. In fact, people like David, right? If children were to be seen and not heard, David would never have slain Goliath.
He would have never become king.
He could have never been anything because he would not have been heard.
He would not have been heard.
I mean, I said, little 13-year-old boy, quick.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we do, right? That's what our Jamaican parents do.
What you know about killing no giant? You a little boy from front of me. He would have never had the opportunity. But we don't get it. So there's a lot of things over the history that we take up and we believe it's something good. I also believe that one cocoa full basket is not, in my opinion, is not a good saying. Because if I just come off of your farm packing huge trailer loads of sugarcane, and you look at me when you give me your little shilling and tell me, "No worry, man, one cocoa full basket."
Meaning satisfied with what you have.
satisfied with the little bit we may give you and go and save it up, and it's soon I go turn in or something. But that's not what successful people tell their children.
That's not the way. That's not the way of the Jew. I tell you that.
That's right. That's right. Abundance. Them I tell him abundance.
What?
And get as much as you can.
As much as you can.
If you can full the jar, if you can full the basket in a half a minute, full it. You see, we have to change the way that we see the glass. The glass for many of us is half empty.
Half empty, yeah.
You know, I was just looking at my sister today, and my sister went to the Department of Motor Vehicles to get my mother a real ID, New York.
Okay, how she get an appointment, man?
She got the appointment.
Oh wow!
But I'm going to tell you this.
Oh, she booked it like 2 months ago?
No, man, she booked it 2 days ago.
What?
Yeah, man.
I thought it was a backlog.
I don't think so. Right?
Okay,
in Garden City.
That's good. We're right in a
Garden City, right
Garden
here,
City there. Yeah,
behind UPS.
Yeah, okay.
Now I'm going to tell you. My sister, I recognize today why she and I can't see eye to eye. Because she's thinking everything in life is glass half empty.
Ah.
And I'm thinking everything in life is glass half full.
True that. Yeah. I'm like that too. Half full.
Right?
Yeah.
Half full all the way.
Yeah, man.
And so she said something on the anticipation of going to Department of Motor Vehicle based on fear mongering.
Wow. What she said?
Oh, we're gonna have a hard time.
You see that?
Because you know,
put goat mouth on ourselves.
No, is it? You know, them want a real ID, and they say they're gonna need this, and I can only imagine. And the girl at the desk just run. No, man, just all right. Give me that. Give me this. Give me that. All right, bang, bam, 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 bam. Next thing, she had a real ID. And I said to myself, I didn't say anything to my sister because I don't want to come across as I told you so.
Right.
So
what did you think?
What did I think about the situation?
To yourself, yeah.
I thought to myself, no, I understand why there is no conversation that she and I can share where she's gonna feel good at the end of the conversation when I talk. because she's automatically feeling that what I am saying is the impossible.
Yeah.
I'm saying things that sound too far-fetched.
Yeah.
When I say, oh, we'll just drive up and go get this and come back home. She's anticipating so many obstacles in that one little drive.
Yeah.
Where I'm anticipating none, because the norm is that you really don't have all of those as obstacles.
That's true.
That's the norm.
Very true.
You know, I was telling somebody the other day, them said, why the world's so wicked? And I said, let me tell you something, my brother. When I turn my TV on at night, and New York, them say, I think, has 8 million people living in it. And when you turn the TV on and them say, well, this person got killed and that person got killed and the other person got killed, and it totals, say, 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 people.
Yeah.
When you compare that to the amount of people that are living in New York, it's a drop in the bucket. Not that it wasn't a tragedy, you know. Yes, it was. But if you look at the statistic of numbers, just looking at numbers, it's not that bad. I can only imagine places like Babylon where man just walk up to you and just push a sword in a baby mother's stomach, or rape somebody and no authorities to stop it.
Yeah,
you know, real wickedness. We are not experiencing that anymore.
Yeah, true.
And so we have to start seeing the glass half full. People have to start seeing the glass half full. We pay too much attention to negativity.
Yep.
And don't highlight the positive of what happened.
Yep.
How about the news coming on and saying, oh, well, today was a wonderful day.
Yeah.
8,955,000 whatever people did well. And only, I know that would sound so right, but I'm just saying,
yes,
only 4 or 5 had some tragic things happen. You know, but the bottom line is the world is much more good than it is bad at this moment. There may be bad intentions, there may be bad thoughts, but in the old days, they would carry those bad thoughts out immediately. Let's go and raid a village and kill off all the babies in that village. I mean, you know, it was, you hear the stories, and apparently there's history to back it up. So I tell people, glass half full. Tell me the good part.
I agree 100%.
Tell me the good stuff that happened today. Bad stuff is few and far between.
You can always find bad stuff.
Yeah.
But the good stuff, and again, like, you know, we were sharing earlier, is what we choose to focus on.
Yeah. I thought about all of that too. I thought about all of what we spoke about this morning. I've also understood your point of view in not necessarily highlighting certain things, but at the same time, in this situation that we are, I still know that you don't want to be caught off guard.
Absolutely not.
Right? Because if that happens and you're leading a whole pack or a group,
it can go astray very easily.
Yeah, man, they need to understand that these things do exist.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why sometimes you might hear me come across strong with them.
Well, you know, Jamaicans need that, you know. I'm stubborn. Let me tell you, like I said to you this morning, when the Creator talks about Israel being stiff-necked people, you ever see anybody more stiff-necked than Jamaicans?
Oh my gosh. I mean, and they buy into the things that. All right, I give you this very simple example. A Ginal in Jamaica is a superstar. that in itself.
Look at Brother Nancy.
Any man with Ginal in Jamaica, Brother Nancy is a superstar.
Brother Nancy's story.
Brother Nancy
he's a hero, national hero.
He's a hero. No, in America, Brother Nancy is a con man, and everybody wants to stay away from that person. Right? You when this band, the name, what's the Madoff? When Madoff with the people and money, nobody wanted to know anything about him. Whereas maybe in Jamaica, the man them say, boy, you want to see the man, the man get through the talk about it. Yeah, the man, they're bad. Yeah, that's we.
Somebody once told me, you know, that Jamaica was run by pirates.
That is right. Founded.
and everybody's a wannabe pirate.
Joshua, it was founded by pirates. Founded. That means, all right. So let's make the comparison. I know everybody said don't compare America with Jamaica, but you know, what you hear as the history of a country is normally what that country is gonna be.
Right.
And I'm not saying that. I know that America is one of the most criminal places, but George Washington was the most honest man, cut down a cherry tree and all type of thing, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So no, my point here is just that. All right. If all I know in my history in my mind is George Washington was the most honest person, and he was the founding father of the United States of America. Mm-hmm. And you tell me, but Captain Morgan, on the other hand, founded Jamaica. and he was the wickedest man, and him slice people in half, and him tie up to horse and make them pull each other apart. I mean, you're gonna think about treacherous times
Yeah.
versus the most honest person. Now, whether George Washington was a criminal or otherwise, they made you believe that honesty is the best policy. So the persons that are in the country are all trying to act at minimum, act as honest as possible.
It's an act.
It could be an act, could be. Some
Okay.
people might be act.
Okay.
Some people might be honest.
Right.
Some people just might be pretending to be honest. But the key is, if you look like a criminal, people in America, most people don't want to deal with you.
Right.
If that's just the MO, the modus operandi.
Right.
Right? In Jamaica, the pirate was the bad man, and the genial ship, and the this, and he was the founding father. So now you have to look at those two things and say, well, are we modeling our societies after our founding fathers? And no matter how long that has been, is it the same reason why we are in the situations that we are?
Yeah. Yep.
It's just to ask the question. I don't know if that's a fact.
Right.
I'm just saying that we need to ask those questions.
Indeed.
You know?
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean, if you went to Sodom and Gomorrah and everybody was doing something really weird, but you came from a place where you never saw anything weird, and you look around right and you look left, and nobody said nothing wrong, you're probably gonna do like the Romans do. You're probably gonna jump in and do what they are doing. Or you'll feel like, wow, I can come here and do this.
Yeah.
Even if you go back home and can't do it.
Yeah.
I can come here and do it, but I can't go back home and do it. So I'm just saying all of that to say, you know, and to come back to doing unto others as you would like them to do unto you.
Right.
Right? Is a place where, again, in many societies, you have to, that's what we call subjective.
Okay.
Right? Because you know, if what them call it, mischief and mayhem is the order of the day, and you know, it's your turn to get robbed.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
then but tomorrow is my turn to get robbed.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it depends, you know, what that means. It's measurable. But for the most part, we all want to feel good, and we all want people to do the right things.
That's it. You know.
Right? You want your friend. You don't want your friend to come in. I remember having a friend. His name was Dave. And I really had Dave as my best friend. And somebody broke into my home and stole a very specific leather bomber jacket that I had. And somebody saw Dave with the bomber jacket. Okay?
What?
Yeah. I said, hold on, me not sit Dave with your jacket. You lend Dave your jacket? I said, no. Well, yeah, which jacket you have? Your bomber jacket, man. With the fur up of the collar and thing. Listen, no. I mean, not tell them, say, Dave Robbie, you know. I didn't say that. All I said was, I don't think anybody knew that I had gotten robbed.
Right.
But you see how the truth come out? Nice and easy. And after that, I would not be the same with Dave ever again. I never asked him for the code. But I just kept Dave at bay.
There you go. So we have to be thankful when people show them true colors.
Oh yes, we do.
We really do, because they could remain as a fox in sheep's clothing, right?
You remember I told you a story, and I hope I'm not taking your show off topic.
Man, it's a talk show, you know. I prefer, trust me. I love when there's interaction and other people talking. Me talking enough.
So I remember taking young students down to the farm to train them in organic farming, farm up Jamaica.
Right.
This is when they had told us that young people don't want to work in Jamaica and them not go on work.
Right.
I know we had tried that. We're testing the reins on that to see if that is so true.
Okay.
I'm finding that young people do want to work. They just want to be treated like a human being.
Yes.
Simple.
Yes.
And we had these kids working, and so one of the kids on the farm was saying to the kids, well, like him with them at work, and him I asked them, so one hour work so hard for. Una calm down, no, una do the hard, una work so hard, una move so quick.
Let's slow down, man.
Is a man will come for through a wrench in the thing. And again, I was very adamant.
Yeah.
In bringing the whole team. I said, all right, let's call a meeting. Because I didn't want to call out. The kids are reporting, what? He's a distraction and he's trying to discourage us. Right? And Mr. Curtis, we like how you treat us and we want to stay here and do this work. But why him not move so good? So I said, all right, when you come on, let's have a meeting. So I said, I just had a general meeting, about 20 students, all packed up at the top of the farm. And I said, all right, guys, listen, I want us all to be comfortable working here. Most are not comfortable. Yeah, man, you like it. I said, all right, if there is any one of you that don't like this and don't want to be here, are you feeling bad mind? No, man, straight up. If bad mind is within you, and you feel some type of way against this thing, this project over here, and you can't figure it out and you cannot get around the bad mind. Here, I'm going to give you your bus fee and go back home. I've never seen anything like this in my life. The boy stand up and walk off of the farm and pack his bags and come back for the bus fare.
It's like when Jesus said,
unbelievable.
Go and do what you have to do. Oh my goodness. Wow.
So these are the reasons why you hear me on the call and you probably say, no man, that's a bit harsh, Neil. No. And that's why I say to people, if you tell me you have experience working with large groups, I'll say fine. And I'll say yes, so you have good experience. If you tell me but I might not give you a job in a Jamaican atmosphere, because unless you've worked with Jamaicans before, I would probably tell you need some more experience.
Yeah.
Our people are very the word is challenging.
Yes, indeed.
The word is challenging.
And that can be an understatement.
And it might be an understatement, but guess what? We have to deal with our own, and we have to find out a way in how we are going to deal with our own. And if we have to nip some things in the bud along the way, we just have to find a way that we can. And like you said today, Moses had to deal with the stiff necks. and no matter what, he still had to deal with those stiff necks.
Yeah. The creator tell him not to bring them. The Erev not to bring them because they're going to cause trouble. And him said, no, everybody deserve a chance.
And did they give him trouble?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? And then them had the responsibility for the golden calf being built.
Wow. But then them meet them Waterloo after that then.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
They did.
They met their Waterloo.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me, God did tell him to deal with them early, but he waited until late and then God still had to deal with them.
Yes, he did.
Yep. Or we wouldn't even have a golden calf story.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
So when you say that what we are doing is a Moses thing, it really is because, we are trusting, okay, We are trusting in the ways of the Creator. Right? We're trusting in the ways of the Creator to bring forth the life that He promises. That's what we have to do. The life that He promises. And He promises it through the scriptures. And it will show in our life. The proof of the pudding will be in our life. Our livity. Yes, that's where. So, Brother Sean, again, you're quiet, and I know you said that when you're quiet, you absorb.
Yeah, man.
Brother Sean, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
It's good way I sharing these experiences because it helps each and every one.
Yes, indeed, it does. Yes, it does. And this is, this is great because you see, again, I didn't raise, even though when I got married, I was heavily on the spiritual path as a young Christian. Got married at 23. What was I going to say? It's important to note that we are a reflection of the creative force. And we have to carry ourselves accordingly. Right? Accordingly. Paul said in Romans 8:19 that all creation is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. Sons of God. So I don't know where Christianity comes from saying that Jesus is the only.
Christ?
Eh?
You mean it's not only Jesus Christ?
Ah. Ah. There you go. Where them get that they from? So, last night I had played a video from a young man on YouTube, and it looks like he has a series of teachings, Kabbalah for Christians. So I wanted to play. Actually, last night we were playing Billy Phillips, who passed away very recently. I was playing his part 2 of his lecture. And I would like to just continue that tonight because I think many of you were excited to hear some of the things that he said, the stories that he was telling. And I want to be true to my word and play the second half, or what's left, all right, of this. I'm going to rewind a little bit. Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's see now.
It says, Moses, go wipe out the nation of Amalek. Right? Wipe out every man, woman, and child. And because of that statement, Muslims kill in the name of God, Christians kill in the name of God, Jews kill in the name of God, but nobody opened up the Zohar to see what the Kabbalists have to say, and they show us, as most people know here, the nation of Amalek doesn't exist. It's a code for the word doubt. The word doubt in Hebrew and the word Amalek in Hebrew is the same numerical value, which is the clue which the Kabbalists say we came to wage war against our doubts. The little children that God said to Moses, wipe them out, are those little doubts we have every day, the little insecurities. If you don't kill those little doubts and insecurities, they grow bigger. And they grow bigger until they become adulterated, and your whole consciousness becomes adulterated. And therefore, we're living in a world, whether you can accept it or not, that we created with our belief system. So what I learned in a very difficult, hard, challenging way is how to cleanse and purge yourself of those negative thoughts, fears, phobias, anxieties, doubts, cynicism, skepticism, to transform your own life. When I came here 24 years ago, I came to change the world. I soon learned the world doesn't need me to change it. I really came to change myself. And that is how we change the world. And when a critical mass of people change themselves, we will change the world instantly. So, I'm in Kabbalah maybe 6 months, and the Rav taught me that, in truth, nobody really quits the path of Kabbalah. We think we quit. We've seen people quit over the last, 24 years. People have been at the center for 10 years. People have been at the center for 10 minutes. The Rav told me, in the quiet of his house one day, nobody quits the path. When you lose your merit, the Satan, the dark forces, give him permission to take you away. And you'll even see something wrong just because you lost your merit and you're gone. If you read Rabbi Ashlag, the founder of the Kabbalah Center, he says and the Zohar says it, one person out of 1,000 will have the merit to study Kabbalah. But what's different today is that was written 2,000 years ago. And we had 20 centuries of just maybe a handful of people who had the privilege to access this wisdom. Now it's open to anybody, and the only thing we have to overcome are the doubts. That's the only battle left. The Zohar is here. Everybody knows the word Kabbalah. Once we reach a critical mass of people who will transform, who lose the ego, who will take a little bit of that pain, and some take a little bit, some will take a lot. When we reach that magic number, everything changes. So when I first found out that I'm really not here to change the world, because I came gung-ho, I'll give you my money, I'll give you everything. I really want to change the world. When I found out I came to change myself, I came to my crossroads and said, I don't need this. I need money. I was wined and dined by the Rav and Karen. I used to come to this building, and people were eating hot dogs, they were making me steaks. And they just kept building this monster, feeding my ego. The Rav told me this years later, feeding my ego until it was so big, and they took the axe and bam! Chopped off my legs, down I crashed, lost my business, lost everything, flat broke. I'm going to condense 20 years and found my wife and children. Became a true husband, a true father, a true human being, and a true student of Kabbalah. Because the love that was given to me and my family was tough love, like a child that gets spanked from his parents. He's 5 years old, a loving spank, and they think it's the end of the world. What I didn't know was what tough love really was. Like I told my mother tonight. You should have done with your first husband. And I'll tell you later.
So that is Billy Phillips in his part 2 in his Canadian lecture. You can
my
find
other son,
that.
Kobe, we're getting these chronic ear infections, right?
You can find that on YouTube. All right. I'm still trying to locate his lecture on Kabbalah and Christianity, which is amazing, and I know you'll all benefit from it. So, wow, where did time go? It's 10 p.m. now, Eastern, 9 p.m. in Jamaica. Brother Cash, did you get enough to move forward?
Yeah, I think so. Especially that last clip with Billy about, when you're too arrogant, life has a way of humbling you.
It's like I said, don't take it too serious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take it serious, but don't take it too serious. You have to realize that, there's a lot of things that we don't know. And we can only live our lives with the knowledge and the wisdom that we know. Can't live it without, what that we don't know. So, welcome back, Raquel. You went to Zohar call.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I fell asleep last night while I was on the call with you guys.
I was wondering what happened to we were Raquel.
I put my head on the pillow, and when I got up, I saw that everything. I was like, "Oh my god!"
No worries, man.
Certain time is way past my bedtime.
I know that. I know that, my dear. I know that. So no worries.
But I'm back.
Good. Yeah, man. Neil came on, and we had a hell of a discourse.
Oh, nice. I listened to it. I listened to it when you put it out.
Okay. Yes, man. Yes. And we just finished listening to the ending of Billy's lecture. Part 2 of his lecture.
Oh, the one that we started last night?
Last night, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but friends, again, I'm like this. If I always feel that if I'm communicating with someone, there are different levels of communication, right? I'm communicating with you guys and because I'm trying to impart wisdom, right? And if it's one thing I want to just remind you of, okay, is that, it's like the Zohar.
So
it's like the Zohar says here. Remember, those who study the Torah and abide by all her ways, they are the ones who are protected by guardian angels, and they have the Shekinah rest on them. Okay? Actually, this particular verse, this chapter talks about what is called Lashon Hara, which is evil speech, evil tongue. Right? Look at this. And I think this is a good place to wrap up the show. So this is verse 1 in English. Zohar chapter 1. Metzorah chapter 1. And Hashem spoke to Moses, saying, "This shall be the Torah of the leper in the day of his cleansing." This is out of Vayikra chapter 14 verse 2, which is Leviticus. So Leviticus chapter 14 verse 1 and 2, for those of you who have your Bible or you want to write it down and go check it out. Rabbi Abba opened the discussion with the verse, "Be afraid of the sword, for wrath brings the punishment of the sword, that you may know that there is judgment." And that word judgment is Hebrew for shadun. Shadun. Okay? That verse is out of Job chapter 19, verse 29. Right? The Zohar always gives the reference out of the Old Testament. Now, the Zohar is commentary on the 5 books of Moses. This is interesting because actually, right? Wait a minute. That you may know that there is judgment came out of Job 19:29. Interesting. So this is one instance where the quotation that is being discussed is not out of the 5 books of Moses. This is out of Job. This is interesting because I thought everything came from the 5 books. But this particular quote, that you may know that there is judgment, came from Job. Interesting. Okay. So that word for judgment is shadun. Hebrew word is shadun. But it says it is pronounced shadun, but spelled Shedin, which literally means demons. So let's substitute the word, right? It says here, be afraid of the sword, for wrath brings the punishment of the sword, that you may know that there are demons. Observe in how many ways people should guard their way. Fear the Holy One, blessed be He, and not depart from the right way. And people should neither transgress the laws of the Torah nor ever leave her. You see, my friends, if we want to live a successful life, all we have to do is listen to the Creator, you know. It's like I said earlier, Raquel. God is not complicated, you know. He's simple. The things that He suggests may appear to be foreign to us because of, you know, we're full of negativity and bad memories from our childhood. We just need to recognize that if we stick to the tools, if we stick to the suggestions that the Creator gave us or gave Israel, who we are, okay? It is our birthright. If we stick to those things and we realize that they are life to us, right? It is life to us. Just continue to use the tools, stay plugged into the tools, let the tools do the work, and you will see the glory of the Creator. It will appear before you in your lifestyle, in your livity, as we're saying in Jamaica. All right, your livity. Everything in your livity will improve. Everything. So, Brother Akash, again, what must you do? To do the best for yourself and for others? Just continue to live according to the prescription of the scriptures and allow it to permeate you and to transform you. And you will see. You will see the amount of light that was generated by you when you do such things. And it's becoming more and more and more evident these days, friends, because the world is getting smaller by the day. You know, getting and we just have to watch ourselves. Stay alive. Stay woke and stay alive, my friends, because we are needed. Desperately needed in this world. Again, Paul said in Romans 8:19, for all creation is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. That is who we are, friends. That is our goal. That is our mission in this world. At least it's my mission. It's a mission that I have taken on. And everybody have to decide for themselves what mission they want to take on. So, Brother Neil, thank you so very much for coming on and sharing with us. And like I said, we've got to get you on so that you can talk about the work that you're doing with Farm Up Jamaica, the wonderful work that you're doing with Farm Up Jamaica. And we can continue to talk about the bad mind. But with solutions. As I've always said, it's very easy to point out what the problem is. Not so easy to come up with solutions, workable solutions. So, and as we said, what we're doing is very altruistic with Jamaica, because you know, we're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for our brothers and sisters who we know need help. So I want to thank you again, and I look forward to when you can come onto the program and we just dedicate an hour, or so to the program, so people can know what's happening in Jamaica, and if they want to become a part of it, they can do so. All right. Brother Paul, Brother Sean, anything before we sign off?
Yeah, man, one soul.
One soul indeed, my brother. One soul indeed. And as much of those Zohars that you give out, I want to know, I want to know the stories, if there are any stories behind it. Yeah. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you very much for coming. I strongly recommend that you guys do not miss the Torah reading this Saturday. Very powerful. You all are on the chat, so watch out for the connection link for Saturday. And stay connected, my friends. This is the way. Stay connected. And good night, my friends. Until next
everyone.
week.
Night. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Blessings.
Shalom. One love, one soul.
One love, one soul. Peter said he's been having some internet issues, so that's why he hasn't been on. So.
Okay. We'll say it for him. One love, one soul.
Right? One love, one soul. Blessings
night,
and love.
everyone.
Good night, Raquel.
Night.
All right. And those of you listening on World Vibes Radio, this has been another episode of Diaspora Connection featuring Kabbalah for Jamaicans. My name is Joshua. We're here every Tuesday and Wednesday night starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. in Jamaica. And what we do here is we continue to teach the wisdom of Kabbalah to Jamaicans. Because God knows we need the help. Next week, I'm going to try and get some Zohar stories, some additional Zohar stories to share with you to let people know the power of the Zohar. All right? The power of the Zohar. So, again, if you want to reach me via WhatsApp, you can do so. Country code +1 516 965 5700. Yeah. Or you can check us out on our website, www.kabbalahforjamaicans.com. That's KABBALAH, the number 4, and Jamaicans, JAMAICANS.com. KabbalahforJamaicans.com. So until next week, my friends, walk good and stay with the Creator, for He is truly the only protective force that there is. Good night.